ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Last time we discussed how Maharaj Shantanu was attracted by Satyavati, and in order to get them married, Devvrat took a vow that he would never marry in his life, and that only the son of Satyavati will become the heir to the throne of Hastinapur. Devvrat was thus now called Bhishma. Satyavati and Maharaj Shantanu had two sons, Chitrangad and Vichitra Virya. After the death of Maharaj Shantanu, Chitrangad was made the king by Bhishma, but he died untimely. And then Vichitra Virya was made the king. Now Vichitra Virya first had to be married so he could beget children. For this purpose, Bhishma again made an arrangement. Now remember, Bhishma had taken a vow that throughout his life he will serve the throne of Hastinapur. Vichitra Virya was not very strong, so Bhishma, instead of Vichitra Virya, went to the kingdom of Kashi and brought the three daughters of Maharaj Kashi. So what was the story behind this? Again explained in great detail in Mahabharat. We will discuss briefly here. Kashi Raj, who was the king of the famous city of Kashi, had three daughters, Amba, Ambika and Ambalika, almost around the same age, and all of the three needed to be married. In those days, many kings will arrange for what was called Swayambar, where different kings, the princes, will assemble, and the princesses who had to be married will go around seeing each one of them and will decide whom they like, and in that king's or prince's neck they would put the garland, and then they would be married. So we can see that how in those days as well, so much freedom was given to the girls to decide who was the right person to marry them. So King of Kashi arranged a Swayambar for his three daughters, and he invited all the kings and princesses, but he did not invite the king of Hastinapur, who at that time was Vichitra Virya, because he knew Vichitra Virya was a very weak person, and de facto Bhishma was the one who was ruling the kingdom, but Bhishma had taken a vow not to marry. So he did not want to send his daughters to a king who really was not powerful enough to rule. So he did not invite Vichitra Virya, but internally he was very concerned that knowing Bhishma may actually come and by force take away the three daughters. In any case, the ceremony started and the three daughters were going around looking for who would be a suitable match for them. Now Ambika and Ambalika internally wanted to go to Hastinapur because that had been the tradition. But Amba, the eldest of the three, liked Maharaj Shalva and wanted to marry him. So she was moving around and walking towards King Shalva. Just as she was about to garland him, everyone heard of great commotion. There was a lot of noise, and what they saw, that Bhishma was entering into the assembly. Everyone just froze, and Bhishma at that time very loudly challenged Maharaj Kashi and said that how dare you do not invite the king of Hastinapur for this ceremony, because from such a long time Hastinapur and Kashi have had this tradition that the princesses of Kashi have been married to the king of Hastinapur. So he was furious that the Vichitravirya was not invited. And then he said, but because of this wrong that you have done, I am going to correct it by taking all these three princesses with me, and I am going to marry them to Vichitravirya. Anyone who has the strength to stop me can come forward and stop. So various kings and princesses came forward to fight with Bhishma, but they were no match to him. Now Ambika and Ambalika were watching this with great thrill that someone was fighting on their behalf to take them to Hastinapur. However, Amba was not very happy. She was very scared because she wanted to marry King Shalva. And Shalva also came forward to start fighting with Bhishma, but again he was no match for Bhishma's strength. But Shalva did not give up, and other princes also come to help him. But ultimately all of them lost to Bhishma, and Bhishma shot Shalva with an arrow, because of which he became unconscious. At that point, he took all the three girls, Amba, Ambika and Ambalika, put them on a chariot and left for Hastinapur. When they reached Hastinapur, he immediately went to the palace of Satyavati and told her that he has brought these three beautiful princesses for becoming the queens of Vichitravirya. Satyavati was very happy that finally there is a possibility that Hastinapur will get an heir through her lineage, that these will be the future queens of Hastinapur, and the son born to them, the eldest one, will become the king of Hastinapur. Now, when this was going on, Amba approached Satyavati and with great shyness told her that, "Oh dear queen, I want to talk to you." So they went on the side, and then she said that I actually love King Shalva, and I was about to garland him when Bhishma came and took me away forcefully. When Bhishma heard this, he said that, "Why did you not say this at that time?" Amba looked at Bhishma and said, "I was very scared of you." Then Bhishma said, "Oh no, I have made a grave mistake." He immediately called his guards and said, "Right now prepare for a royal chariot and prepare for many gifts, and with great honor we will take Amba back to King Shalva." So we can again see that how much importance was given to what the desire of the girl was in terms of whom she wanted to choose for marriage. This was Vedic culture. So Amba was sent to King Shalva, and Ambika and Ambalika, both of them happily married Vichitravirya. But the unfortunate thing was that before they could beget children through Vichitravirya, he died. So we can see that that irreligious act that was done by Dasaraj, asking Maharaj Shantanu that only the son of Satyavati should become the heir to the throne of Hastinapur, caused this situation where both the sons of Satyavati, Chitrangad and Vichitravirya, died untimely deaths. Now, how would Hastinapur get a heir? Because Bhishma had decided not to marry, and he was absolutely stern on his vow that no matter what, he will not marry. So this was a predicament, a very difficult situation that Satyavati found herself in. So at that point, she remembered Vedavyas, her son who was begotten through Parashar Rishi. And immediately Shri Vedavyas appeared and asked, "O my dear mother, what should I do?" So Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj explains that Mother Satyavati was doubly distressed. Because the death of her sons left the dynasty with no heir, she summoned her first son, the great sage Vedvyas, simply by remembering him. To protect the dynasty on her instructions and with Bhishma's approval, Vedvyas begot sons by Vichitra Virya's wives. So he asked Mother Satyavati that please ask your daughters to come one by one, and by my mystical potency, I will beget children in their womb, not by union of a man and woman, but simply by my spiritual mystical potency. So first of all, Ambika was asked to come. When she came in front of Vedvyas, looking at his intense effulgence, he was a great personality. His intense spiritual effulgence, she immediately closed her eyes, just like if you would look straight at the sun, because of the intense light of the sun, you would have to close your eyes. So Ambika also closed her eyes. Now, of course, Vedvyas put his potency, and because of that, she did beget a child, but that child was blind. His name was Dhritarashtra. Vedvyas told Satyavati that why did you not tell your daughter-in-law to come prepared when she came to meet me and not close her eyes? Satyavati said, I will tell the next one to be very careful. But before Satyavati could explain to Ambalika, Ambika had already explained to Ambalika that how Vedvyas looked. Because he was a rishi, he had great mats of locks of hair, and then he also had this immense aura. So Ambalika relented to Satyavati's request. She did come to meet Vedvyas, but though she did not close her eyes, looking at Vedvyas, she became very pale and felt very weak from within. So once Ambalika left, then Vedvyas told Satyavati that son of Ambalika would be a brave and bold prince, but he would be pale, the same color that his mother went when she saw me, and he would be weak constitutionally. When Satyavati heard this, she became extremely sad because she wanted a perfect king for Hastinapur. It is explained in Mahabharat that either at the same time or about a year later, Shri Vedvyas came back, and again Satyavati approached and said, please give me one more chance so that my daughter-in-laws can come and you can beget children with all good qualities in their womb. So this time, even though Vedvyas agreed, Amba and Ambalika, instead of going themselves, sent their maidservants. This maidservants was very devout, and when she came in front of Vedvyas, she was absolutely not scared and stood with a very devout mood in front of him. So by the blessings of Shri Vedvyas, she also begot a child, and this child became known as Vidur, the great devotee of Lord Krishna. Shri Gurudev further explains, Dhritarashtra was blind from birth, so his younger brother Pandu was crowned king. Maharaj Pandu was a chivalrous and influential emperor endowed with all good qualities. He had 5 sons, of whom Yudhishthir was the eldest. Of Dhritarashtra's 100 sons, Duryodhan was the eldest. By the influence of time, King Pandu died while all the princesses were quite young. So grandfather Bhishma enthroned Dhritarashtra and made him responsible for protecting the kingdom until the princesses grew older. And as the princesses grew older, what happened? We will discuss next time. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. Have a very blessed day.